Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This will be the first video of several videos that will be turning rawhide, so just store-bought dog cheese, into a sheath for this handsome Turley PSK. This stuff works super good for making sheaths, and some of it, as you can see, is super thick, which ends up being really strong once it's dry. You know, I don't even know if these things have a date on them. I've had this bag for 4 or 5 years, and I've used several pieces of it. I got it at, we have a grocery store called Kroger. It's about 45 minutes away in the next town over, and they just had a bag of these beef hide chew chips, was what it's called. So I bought the bag because of how big the pieces were. I mean, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good sized piece, especially for what I'm using them for, and the thickness is just really nice. Sometimes you can get the rolled up pieces of rawhide that look like a newspaper, and you can unroll those, but there's some sneakiness behind one of those. The inside is filled with like the waste product, so bits and pieces and funky stuff, and crusty jelly like substances and all kind of stuff. So primarily only the outer wrap is usable rawhide. The center is just gross. I found that out from soaking some, and this inside of it will get funky, super stinky. So if you do it in a bowl in your kitchen, be prepared, because it gets pretty gross. But what we're going to do is, I'm not going to use the super thick pieces. I'll save them just in case I want to make something else. So we got some pretty thin pieces here. I think I'm going to use these two. I'm going to use those two. Yeah, I'm going to use that one. Not bad. I'm going to save the rest of these. Something else. From the beginning of using this, you need to have a decent idea of how you're going to do this, what you want it to look like. So I'm going to do a neck knife, like a dangler, and I want it to kind of look like a birch bark sheath. So I'm gonna have a main form with maybe an X on it, helping to hold it together, and stitch it up the sides. Maybe, I don't know, I'll have to figure out how to do that with just a tab coming off the top to put maybe in the middle, or maybe off one side. I may have it where it rides sideways across my body. I'm not sure. I'm gonna soak this, and once I get it, I'll start playing around with it and kind of see where I'm going. I've done a video a little while back where I made a template out of paper. A little turbo something. But if you're not familiar with the way your crafting goes, so if you're unsure, and it's still smart to do it anyway, I would make a paper template of what you're trying to achieve, and then you can reverse engineer that to get the correct size pieces for what you're doing. But what I want to show you in this video is basically how to prepare this stuff. So I'm going to take my pieces, I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag. And that should be more than enough. I'm going to just throw an extra one in there, smaller one. And go ahead, just in case. So if we're playing around, I have extra, and then I can let it dry back out. And once, you can put hot water in it, it helps it a little bit, but just be prepared if you do this. Probably not going to be ready until tomorrow. That was just a piece of a bottle of water that I had left over, and I think that's going to be enough for this. It's about halfway full, but the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to zip my bag up. And let all of the air out of it. And that's it. This is, like I said, this is just the first go on it. And like I said, I'm just going to set it up, and I'm not going to worry about it until tomorrow when I get off work. So we work 10-hour shifts. So tomorrow at about 6 o'clock I should be home, and I'll check it. And over that period of time with this thickness, it should be super floppy. It should be like almost like the consistency of wet leather. You know, that's pretty much what it is. But then from there, we'll go from there. And I'll play around with some templates and see if I can make exactly what we're going to do. I'm hoping these pieces are long enough. I don't have a pencil out here, I don't think. But I think the pieces are going to be long enough that, see, some of these are a little longer than this one. If I put it in there and fold it over on itself, I should have plenty up there to hold on to. So we'll see. That's just basically, I just want to fold it really and then maybe wrap it. We'll have to play around with it and see how she goes. Maybe fold the top down. I'm not sure. But check out that turley. Isn't that thing awesome? I wanted a turley for a long time, and I really like PSK style knives, so I saw he was taking some orders, and I sent him an email and was like, hey man, I need one of these. And he was like, all right dude. We talked back and forth and pulled the trigger. There we go. There's my first turley. So it's only fair he gets a pretty cool sheath. Now, heads up, if you have a dog, even if this is dyed or stained with leather dye, your freaking dog will eat this thing. 100% eat it. And it's happened to me before. There's actually some older videos where that's going down. And I believe I recently found some of my old IGTV videos are not labeled as IGTV anymore, but they are long form and still on my Instagram back from 2019, 2018. There's some long form videos on there of me making sheets with these, and you can see the finished product on several of them. They turned out really good, but so if you leave them where a dog can get them, she'll chew mine was a girl named Georgia. She'll chew it up if you ain't careful. So just keep that as a thought. But alright, now we be patient. Y'all appreciate the support. Feel free to like and subscribe. Follow along. Check out at Bushcraft Kelso on Instagram for all of our older stuff, as well as newer things. I post stuff on there all the time. Bushcraftkelso.com for gizmos and gadgets. Got a bunch of stuff going up there today. I'm almost out of time to run the forge today. I just had some other stuff that I had to do. But I may get some stuff made this afternoon. If I do, there'll be awls and some fids up on the website if it goes good. If not, I'll have to wait till next weekend. Anywho, Rawhide sheath later.